Croeso pawb to the game's under £20 PSN sale. I've looked through this sale for you, and I found the best deals on some really cool games that you can save a load of money on as well. So if you like finding cool games to play and saving a load of money as well, then you should subscribe, because that's what this channel's about. You're welcome here anytime. Okay, this sale ends on the 24th of May, so that'll be your last day to pick up these deals. Let's look at the games. First up is A Tale of Paper. It was released in 2020, so it's 3 years old, and it's on at least a 70% discount for the price of £3.59 or £2.99 with PS Plus, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really good deal. This puzzle platformer promises an emotional adventure as you play as Line, who transforms using his origami powers to reach new areas, solve puzzles, and complete his adventure and fulfill the dream of his creator. As far as puzzle platformers go, this looks like a really good polished one. It's been compared in style to Little Nightmares, and you can see why. It looks like it's got good production values and a really cool aesthetic, which is really impressive for an indie game. There's loads of puzzle platformers around, so you have a ton of choice in this genre, but this looks like a really good high quality one. So if you're a fan of puzzle platformers, or you love games with dark aesthetics, then you'll probably really enjoy this game, and it's at a really good price as well, so why not take a look? And hey, if you've never played a puzzle platformer before, then this might be a good place to start, but you can get much more AAA games at about the same price as well when they're on sale, so the choice is up to you really. If you like the look of this one, why not take a look at it? But if not, don't worry, you've got so many choices in this genre, and they're all really good ones as well, that you really can't go wrong wherever you decide. Up next we have Batman Arkham Collection. It was released in 2018, so it's 5 years old, but the games are much older than that really, and they're on an 80% discount for the price of £9.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a phenomenal deal, as you get 3 AAA Batman games of Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight, which are 3 of the best games in the Arkham series. And even better than that, they include all of the DLC, and the first 2 are remastered as well, so again the complete version of all of the games, and the best versions as well. You can't ask for anything more really. In these third-person action-adventure games, you play as the Dark Knight, fighting a host of classical villains across 3 full AAA games set in Arkham Asylum and Gotham City. It features tons of Batman gadgets and vehicles, with an awesome combat system and a great story as well. If you're a superhero fan, especially a Batman fan, you'll love these games, so if you haven't played them, you should definitely pick them up. It's great value, and they're really awesome games. You'll really enjoy them, I promise. And hey, if you've never played a game like this before, this is a great place to start, apart from the fact you're buying 3 games, so it's a big risk to take if you don't end up liking them. But hey, if you like open world action games, or third person action games in general, you might really enjoy these games. You probably wouldn't, only if you don't like superheroes, which is a bit odd these days, but you never know. In any case, if you like the sound of them, check them out, they're well worth looking at. Children of Morta Complete Edition is our next game. It was released in 2021, so it's 2 years old, and it's on a 70% discount for the price of £5.39, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal, as this edition includes all of the free updates, and both the Ancient Spirits and Paws and Claws DLC with new characters, systems, events, items, and more. So again, the best version of the game, with a load of extra content included, which is great. In this roguelike action RPG, you get to play as an entire family of adventuring heroes, as you hack and slash hordes of enemies in procedurally generated dungeons, caves, and lands to fight the encroaching corruption. It features 7 characters to play as, and offline and online co-op as well, so it's a good game to play with your mates, or your kid or partner. In general, I'm not a fan of roguelikes, but this action RPG looks like a pretty interesting one, and I like the art style as well. So if you're a big fan of action RPGs, especially the 2D ones, and you like roguelikes, you might want to check this out. It might just be a really cool game that you never knew existed. And hey, if you've never played a roguelike action RPG before, then this might be a good place to start. There are others you can get that are cheaper, but this includes a ton of content, and it looks like a quality game as well. So if you're interested in it, why not take a look? I think you'll really enjoy it. Our next game is Doctor Who: The Edge of Time. It was released in 2019, so it's 4 years old, and it's on at least a 70% discount for the price of £5.99 or £3.99 with PS Plus, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it for PS Plus users, so it's a really good deal for Plus users. This game has optional move controllers, which is really good. That's much appreciated in games like this. They usually make them way better to play. In this VR puzzle game, you get to team up with the Doctor to solve puzzles and save the universe from a mysterious new enemy. You get to pilot the TARDIS, and experienced the world of Doctor Who like never before, meeting both iconic and new monsters in the adventure, all the way interacting with the 13th Doctor. But there isn't a 13th Doctor, so that doesn't make much sense to me. You think they use a real Doctor, right, not a made-up rubbish one? Crazy. I've always liked Doctor Who ever since I was a kid, and I mean the original one, not the remake. The original one is amazing, and I rewatched it during COVID. Amazing. Definitely worth rewatching if you like Doctor Who, or you've never seen it. On a side note, Patrick Troughton is the best Doctor, and if you don't know who he is, man, you're missing out. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Anyway, this looks like a really good VR game. This is exactly what VR was meant for, to immerse yourself in a world that's very interesting to you, and get to go places you would never be able to go in real life. You even get to experience some of the legendary villains from the originals, including the Daleks, and you also get some of the best out of the new ones as well, like the Weeping Angels, which are included as well. In short, if you're a Doctor Who fan, you'll love this game. Apart from the weird 13th Doctor they've made up. God, I don't know why they did that. They should have just used a proper real one instead. Anyway, if you're a fan of the series, definitely check this game out. It's the closest you'll ever get to going on an adventure with a real Doctor. And hey, if you're not a fan of Doctor Who, then I'm not sure if I'd recommend this game. Realistically, it's a Doctor Who game and it's VR, so if you're not interested in the Doctor Who world, then you're probably much better off spending your money on a different game instead. So unless you're really curious about it, you might want to skip this and pick up a different game instead. But don't worry about it, there's plenty more options for you. And if not, then subscribe and we'll find you something else in the next sale. We have an action RPG next, God Eater 2 Rage Burst. It was released in 2016, so it's 7 years old, and it's on an 85% discount for the low price of £6.74, which is really great, as this enhanced version includes an additional chapter, a new Blood Rage mechanic, DLC expansion, and expanded gameplay content as well. So again, the best version of the game, with a ton of extra content included, which is really good. This is an action RPG where you join the God Eater Elite Squad on a mission to defeat the giant monsters called Aragami, to gather materials from them in order to research. But you soon realize you are being drawn into a conspiracy that will decide the fate of humanity. This is a cross-buy game, so you get the Vita version included for free, which is really cool. I have a Vita and I really love it. I wish more games offered cross-buy. This game will appeal a lot to fans of the anime and manga, but if you're not a fan of those, at this price you're getting a lot of game for your money, so you might just want to take a look at it anyway. It's still a really good price for a really good quality RPG. Greek Memories of Azor is our next game. It was released in 2021, so it's 2 years old, and it's on a 70% discount for the price of £4.79, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really good deal. In this puzzle platformer, the magical Koreans are under attack by the Urlags, and you must find your siblings to reunite and build an airship to escape before it's too late, and the Urlags overrun everything. It features beautiful hand-drawn graphics and character swapping as well, so there's a fair bit of tactics to this game, as you swap between the characters on the fly, each with different strengths and weaknesses, which adds to the puzzle solving and tactics of the combat as well, which makes it really interesting and cool. Although the graphics are so beautiful, you might just buy the game for that on its own. I've seen some people compare it to Hollow Knight, but I wouldn't compare it to that, just because it superficially has really good graphics as well. Doesn't make them similar games. It's not a Metroidvania, with a huge emphasis on puzzles, and a way different combat system as well. It's nowhere near the same game to play, so I don't get the comparison at all. What it is a really good quality puzzle platformer, with amazing graphics, that makes it really interesting and intriguing to play. If you've got any interest in puzzle platformers, definitely take a look at this. It's different, and it looks amazing. Well worth taking a look at, I think. And hey, if you've never played a puzzle platformer before, this looks like a really amazing one, and it might be a great place to start, but you can get other AAA ones cheaper than this on sale, so it may not be the best deal, but if you really like the graphics, or you really like the look of it, you're not going to care and you're going to pick it up anyway. But if you're not sure, you've got plenty of options in this genre, so why not subscribe, and I'll help you find them when they're on sale next. Metro Exodus Gold Edition is our next game. It was released in 2019, so it's 4 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the low price of £6.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a phenomenal deal, as this edition includes the expansion pass, with 2 full story expansions worth over £20 themselves. So you're getting the complete version of the game with a ton of extra content that's worth a lot of money as well. It's a really good deal. In this FPS, you'll flee in the shattered ruins of Moscow from the first 2 games, as you embark on an epic story-driven adventure across continents through a post-apocalyptic Russia full of enemies and mutants. It features stealth, survival elements, and exploration elements as well. This is from a great series of story-driven shooters, and if you've never played them, you should definitely pick them up, because the first two are really great and they're usually dirt cheap, and this one's really great and a great continuation as well. So if you've been looking for a story-driven FPS, this is a really great one, especially if you've played the first two. And if that's you, you should definitely take a look at this price. But if you haven't played the first two, then you might want to pick them up first and come back to this later. And for anyone who hasn't played a story-driven FPS before, because you've only played the multiplayer ones or the online ones, then they're really great. I highly recommend them. They give a really good experience, and you can get some really great ones pretty cheap in sales. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this one because it's a third in the series, but hey, subscribe and you won't miss out on other ones when they come on sale. We have an action RPG next, Moonlighter Complete Edition. It was released in 2020, so it's 3 years old, and is on an 85% discount for the low price of £2.84, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really good deal, as this edition includes the Between the Dimensions expansion, with new dungeons and enemies included. So you're getting the complete version of the game, with extra content included, for a dirt cheap price. It's a great deal. In this action RPG, you play as an adventurer shopkeeper, who travels through gates to other dimensions, fighting creatures and collecting treasure to sell at his shop. It features roguelike and RPG elements, with a beautiful art style as well. It's a really good game to look at, as well as play. This game had rave reviews when it came out, and a load of people really loved it, and you can see why. Roguelikes were really popular at the time, the art style is beautiful, and in general it just looks like a really good quality game. If you're a fan of roguelikes, or action RPGs, especially 2D top-down ones, you'll probably really enjoy yourself, so why not take a look at it? You'll probably thank me afterwards. And hey, if you've never played an action RPG before, this is a really good quality one at a dirt cheap price, so if you're happy with the 2D gameplay, then definitely check it out. It's a really good game, and a great place to start. You might even find your new favourite genre to play, so why not take a chance and take a look at it? We have a motocross racer next, MXGP2 Special Edition. It was released in 2016, so it's 7 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of £1.59, which is dirt cheap, as this edition includes the Season Pass and a PS4 theme and avatar as well. So you're getting a huge amount of content for your money. It's a really good deal. In this motocross racer, you get to create your own rider, team, and customize your bike with officially branded accessories, featuring officially licensed motorbikes, racers, and 18 full tracks. If you're a fan of motocross and you're looking for a game, this is a pretty decent deal at this price. And if you've never played one before, but you're tempted, at this price, you might as well take a risk on it. It's dirt cheap, why not take a look at it? Next up, we have Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Trilogy. It was released in 2017, so it's 6 years old, but the games are much older than that really, and they're on a 75% discount for the price of £6.99, which is really great, as this trilogy includes HD remasters of the first 3 Naruto Shippuden fighting games, so you're getting the best versions of the games for a complete experience. These games follow the story from the anime, allowing you to battle your way through all of your favourite fights, unleashing powerful jutsu attacks, and chase your enemies up walls and over water through the environments. If you're a big fan of Naruto, you'll absolutely love this bundle, but if you're not a fan of Naruto, then you probably don't want 3 full games of it. But hey, if that's the case, there's plenty more deals for you to check out, so take a look around. If you like fighters, this is a really good chance to pick up 3 for a really good price. Why not check it out? Up next, we have One Piece Pirate Warriors 3. It was released in 2015, so it's 8 years old, and is on an 85% discount for the crazy low price of £2.39, which is really good. This third-person hack-and-slash game is set in the original One Piece story arc in Fuchsia Village, where you get to gather up the Straw Hat crew and take on a host of dangerous foes, including Doflamingo, Hordy Jones, Caesar Clown, and many more, as you fight your way through a load of themed levels around the show. This is basically a Dynasty Warriors game, themed after One Piece, which I've got no complaints about. I love the Dynasty Warriors series, they're great games and I love them a lot. So if you're a fan of One Piece and you like Dynasty Warriors, this series is perfect for you. But if you only like one of those 2 things, then it may not be for you. It's a really decent game at a really good price. Why not take a look? And hey, if you've never played a hack and slash game like these before, this is a really good deal. So if you like fun action games, you might want to check this one out. They're a lot of fun, and they're great mindless entertainment, they really are. Why not take a look if you like the sound of it? The Bard's Tale Remastered and Resnarkled is our next game. It was released in 2017, so it's 5 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the low price of £1.59, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a dirt cheap deal. In this RPG, you get to adventure as the Bard, a selfish rogue weary of pointless subquests and rat-infested cellars. Through magical song, you summon characters to join your quest for coin and cleavage. It features 20 to 30 hours of gameplay and an all-star Hollywood voice cast, including Carrie Alloway from The Princess Bride, which is really cool. This game has a really cool sense of humour, so if you like your adventure games with a lot of comedy and funny situations, you'll probably have a blast with this game. So if you like RPGs and you like the sense of humour of this game, you should definitely consider it. I'm sure you'll have a great time with it. And if you've never played an RPG before, then I'm not sure if I'd recommend this one. If you really like comedy games, then you might get a lot out of this game, but you can definitely pick up some other AAA RPGs that are newer and much more impressive technology-wise. So it's really up to you. But if you like humour, I would say definitely take a look at it. You might just have a laugh. And the final game I have for you is my star buy, Wolfenstein Alt History Collection. It was released in 2020, so it's 3 years old, but the games are much older than that really, and they're on an 80% discount for the price of £10.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really good deal, as this collection includes all 4 modern games, Wolfenstein The New Order, The Old Blood, 2 The New Colossus, and Young Blood as well. Now I'll be straight with you, Young Blood is garbage, but the other 3 are amazing, so you're still getting a really good deal. These are all FPS games, where you play the complete story of the modern Wolfenstein games, from the 1940s Europe to 1960s occupied America, as you fight the Third Reich throughout an alternate history, where Germany didn't lose World War II, and you have to fight for your survival and for the safety of the world. These are old school games, and that's a good thing. What I mean by that is they're story-based, spectacle-based, and gunplay-based, which means they're really fun to play, the story's really good, and there's some good set pieces, bosses, and action sequences in them. Basically, they're just amazing games. The original Wolfenstein games are a bit dated right now, so if you're not a fan of old school games, you really wouldn't enjoy them, but these modern ones are really good. If you like first-person shooters and you've never played these, you should definitely check them out, especially if you like story-driven games. I'm sure you'll really enjoy this. I like this sort of game much more than I like multiplayer shooters. They just get boring after a while, and once you've played one, you've more or less played them all really. So if you're a first-person shooter fan, definitely check these out. You owe it to yourself really. And hey, if you've never played an FPS before, this is a great place to start, except that you're getting 4 games, so if you don't like the genre or this series, then you're stuck with a lot of game that you're not going to play. So I wouldn't recommend starting here, but hey, if you try this genre out and you like it, then come back here at some point, because you'll really enjoy this series if you like this genre. Like I said, it's my star buy. They're amazing games, apart from the 4th one. And they're on a really good discount for a really good price. You can't go far wrong at all. Definitely check them out. They're well worth your time and money, I promise. And that's all the games I have for the Games Under £20 PSN sale. Just a little tiny update for the PSVR usage. Obviously I've had it a while now and I've been playing it. Not so much though. What I found is that I've enjoyed VR so much again with the release of the second one. I'm actually playing a lot more VR games, which tend to be on the first one because the second one doesn't have a lot of games right now. So I've been playing a ton of PSVR 1 games and having a ton of fun with it. After playing the second one and owning it, I thought coming back to the first one I'd be disappointed in the picture quality and the experience. But you know what? It's still more comfy to play in, and the picture's really good. I thought the picture quality of the first one would be garbage after I've played the second one, but it's not. If anything, it's made me more impressed with it, because it's held up really well. For the technology they used and the price they charged at the time, it holds up really well. Well done PSVR 1, you're still hanging on in there. As for the PSVR 2, I've used it a lot more for watching movies than I have playing games, because there's not a lot of games on it that I want to play right now. And I have to say the picture quality and clarity is really great still, but it is definitely less comfortable over a few hours. And I've noticed some other things as well that I didn't notice initially, so I might do an update video at some point, I'm not sure. I don't really have enough content for a video right now, so I don't know, maybe I'll do an update at some point, or I'll just check it at the end of a video, we'll see. Either way, I'm really loving PSVR at the moment, and Blood and Truth, which I owned for a while and never got around to playing, is amazing. I played 3 hours of that the other day, and it's really great. I wish I'd started playing it before, because I was definitely missing out. It's a real cool game. Anyway, what did you think of the games I picked? Did I pick good ones or did I pick bad ones? And what about the star buy? Did it deserve it, or should some other game have got it instead? Leave all your complaints down in the comments and we can talk about it later. Anyway, I hope you guys found some games you're interested in, but more importantly I hope you saved a lot of money. I'll see you in the next sale. Au revoir.